Today we're going to talk about biased versus unbiased. Before we get into too much, there was two YouTube videos. Hopefully your link will click. Otherwise, just type this into your address bar. The first one takes you to a video talking about viral videos and different type of viral videos. And the reason I want you to watch this video is I want you to notice the way they use the graphs to explain their point. So focus on the graphs. I mean, you can enjoy the video too, but focus particularly on the graphs and how they make the presentation better. The second video is about a business pitch. Doesn't matter so much what the business is that they're pitching, though you're welcome to look into it more if you want to. But they talk about a survey that they did, and then they use that survey to emphasize points to make their pitch. That's what you're going to be doing in this project. You're going to first make a survey, then you're going to gather data, and you're going to use that data to convince us which product should or should not be in the school store. So watch both these videos and those would help you with your project. So the rest of the time we're going to talk about bias versus unbiased. Bias simply means that something, because of what you did, has affected the outcome. So it could either be the question you have asked or the people that you were asking, but something in the what you did has affected the outcome. Unbiased simply means that the outcome is not affected, that it is a true result without any influence from you. So we talked about these examples. The classic example of unbiased, and boy, that should have been an N there. I'm not sure what I was thinking when I wrote that, is each item or person in the population is as likely to be chosen as any other. That's what it means to be unbiased, that no matter what we do, everyone is equally likely. This is called a random sample. One way to get a random sample is to have items or people selected according to a time or interval. And what we mean by an interval is like, say, every 10th person that walks in the door, that's the person you survey. That's an interval. Time would be similar, so every 10 minutes you interview someone. What we're not talking about here is calling people at 3 in the morning. If you call people at 3 in the morning, obviously they're going to have a very negative impact on your survey. So it's not about the time of day that you're calling, it's about doing it every so often and at a set time or interval, like every 10th person or every 5th person. Those are unbiased. A convenient sample, just asking people that happen to be near hand, for example, asking just all your friends or asking just the first 5 people you happen to see in the hallway, that is biased. It might be easy to do, but you're not getting a true random sample because the people you are talking to are likely to be all similar in nature. Same thing with a voluntary response. Anytime that someone is voluntarily joining your survey, it is by definition biased. So if you make a sample out of those people who choose to participate, so the way that would be is, say a magazine, in the back of the magazine there's a little flyer that says, here's an interesting survey, if you'd like to participate, mail it back to us. That's a voluntary response. That is biased. Or if you're watching a TV show and they say, if you'd like to participate, just call in. That would be a biased sample. Another one that you often see is, say that you're in the office and you say, hey, an announcement, anyone that wants to stop by and participate, just simply stop by the office. Because you're asking for volunteers, it is a biased survey. Now that doesn't mean that you can't get good data out of the survey, but you need to account for the fact that it is a biased survey. So you are going to be trying your best to have an unbiased survey when you do yours. So here's some examples. First one says Joe is trying to decide which of 3 golf courses in the area are best, so he randomly surveys people at a sports venue. This is unbiased. The issue here is the sports store. Because the sports store is not going to influence which of the 3 golf courses they might select, this would still be unbiased. Now, if the sports store happens to be at one of those 3 golf courses, that would make it biased. But we're going to assume it's not at one of the 3 golf courses, so this is an unbiased example. The second one says to find how much money the average American family spends to cool their home, they're going to ask 100 Alaskan families. The problem with this is if you're asking Alaskan families, is already cool most of the time. So their energy bill is probably a lot less to cool their house than, say, people in Florida or California or Texas. So that's biased because it is not representing the average American family. It's only representing the average Alaskan family. This next one is also biased. It says to determine whether students at Southern Middle School will attend an art festival, Miss Smith surveys the students in the art club. Well, if you're asking the students in the art club, they're much more likely to think that it is an art festival is a good idea, so they're much more likely to say yes. That doesn't necessarily reflect all of Southern Middle School. So if you're going to reflect all of Southern Middle School, you need to ask more than just the people in the art club. The third one's unbiased. This is our definition of how to do it. They're saying that every 50th phone off the assembly line, they're going to pull this phone off and they're going to check it. So that would be the way that we do random samples is every so often, in this case every 50th one, you pull something off or you do something. This last one is biased because a magazine asks its readers to complete and return a questionnaire. This is voluntary response. Anytime that you are volunteering people to participate in your survey, it is by definition biased. So hopefully these questions or examples will help you out. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to email me.